Hello, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is Neeraj Goel once again with yet another episode of Coach Speak by R. And today we will discuss something which has been throughout day in, day out. Everybody is talking about the coaching, growth, corporate ladders and reaching out to the heights and being successful and everything possible to become, that top notch of whatever they are doing. However, there are very few people who are actually seriously taking it forward by taking hand holding of people and making sure that they succeed. And very few of them is actually performing well in their own industry. And one of those is today with us. Let me introduce you to Mr. Ashok Goyal, who is an executive coach of Ashok Goyal, the coaching executive performance. Now, this person, I have been knowing him for quite some time and I have seen his work throughout. And he is a coach, of course. He is a growth mentor. He is an author. He is doing whatever it takes to make you successful. So you have one person right now, which is very authentic, very calibrated, and very credible in the market, who I have brought him today on this particular show. And let's have some candid discussion with him. Let's welcome Mr. Ashok Goyal. Hi, Ashok ji, how are you?
Thanks, Neeraj, for a nice introduction. So, great, guys. Yeah, we'll have a series of question and answers. So, in case you have any questions, please go ahead.
Of course, of course. So you know how humble he is. He is very to the point and he is very much ready to for all the answers. Now, just to begin with, Ashok ji, I just wanted to understand about how you started, what you do, in very brief, so that people get to know about you, and then we'll talk about on some technicalities and see how it turns up to be. Over to
Yeah,
you.
great. Thanks, Neeraj. So, I have worked for many years in the corporate sector with some of the reputed organizations, including Oil and Natural Gas Corporation, Price Waterhouse Coopers, Wipro, Dell, and IBM as well. And all throughout my career, I realized that we actually do not get guided properly how to progress faster. So, in my almost over 2 decades of career in India and abroad, I always felt that the way we have, coaches in sports for an excellent performance, we do not have similar coaches for our careers. And in case we have any questions, we have questions like, you might have a tough manager to be handled. Your client may not be cooperating with you. You may not be getting aligned properly with your team members. Whom do you talk to seek some help on those areas? All that you can do is probably go out, meet some of your friends, and ask for their advices. Now, they may be genuine people. Maybe you can ask your professional brother who might be senior to you. So all of them could be genuine, right? But they may or may not be able to help you. In most cases, they may not, because they are not professionally prepared to guide you, to coach you, and so on. And that is where
Yes.
I felt there is a definitive need for for helping career professionals, young career professionals who could be in their early stages, maybe in their early 30s, mid 30s, early 40s, and so on. And that is where I found that I could add value. And last 3 4 years, I have been doing it quite well.
Nice. Nice. You rightly said this is the mid management, the career people who have already been stuck in, into some kind of a stagnancy because they have started something over the years. Now they don't know what to do next. They are stranded. They are not getting the answers to their questions. So how do we able to reach out? So what kind of the major common questions you normally answer, and what is the trend going on these days? Is it because we can see there's a lot of stress going on in organizations and people are behaving the other way around, and a lot of fast paced world, and now talking about the automation and AI coming into picture. So a lot of other things is also happening. So how do you keep the pace with this industry, and what kind of common questions are you facing, and what are the solutions you are providing?
Yeah, great question. Uh, see, many guys who are in their, let's say, late 20s, early 30s, mid 30s, with more than 3, 4, 5 years of experience, uh, 90% of them would not be happy with their compensation. That's their common concern that they have. My colleague is
Nobody,
getting paid
nobody likes
40%
their
more.
salaries.
My
Yeah.
colleague is getting 50% more, 30% more. He's less qualified than I am. Or another question could be, I'm not getting along with my manager. My manager doesn't like me for whatever reasons. Or I don't like to work, I don't like the job content here. And they are compelled to continue in those circumstances for years together. See, once they have a family, they have committed expenses, and they cannot get out of the job so easily. They have only one option, which is to work on themselves, work on their own skills, and keep moving their bar up and up to be able to cope up with the kind of work pressure that they are going on, right?
Mhm.
So now the question is, what do they do? Whom should they ask for help? So I'll come back to my answer earlier that I was giving, that there is no one to help them. I mean, there is no self help book, there is no video, there is no manager, there is no senior manager who is willing to guide them genuinely, right? And what is the result? The result could be they don't realize their potential, they don't grow as much as they could, they remain underpaid, and they become frustrated over a period of time. After 15 years, 18 years of their work, they think that this is what their world is. It's like a frog in the well, right? When you begin your career, you have the entire world to be acquired. But when you are 15 years, 18 years, when let's say you are working with a simple assistant manager, being paid, uh, I would not like to mention the compensation, maybe 1.5 lakh, 2 lakh kind of compensation, which is highly underpaid in today's context. But they think that that's what they're worth and that is what they deserve because of their education, parentage, communication, confidence, etc. And they don't deserve more than that. And that's what they become contented with and continue, right? And I have seen many people who are highly frustrated. By the way, I also do corporate trainings. I have met some of the brightest people from government and including defense and our own government sectors, PSUs, and so on. To my surprise, I have seen people so frustrated, kind of organizations, people are competing with each other to enter into these organizations. But after 10 years, 12 years, 15 years, they become so frustrated, I can't imagine, right? And that is where I believe that coaches can be their support. They can always look for support, how they can enhance their career potential, how they can enhance, they can work on their beliefs, their fears, their passion, their affection, and all of that. See, you can acquire a communication skill, you can acquire delegation skill, time management skill from outside, but you can't speak about your beliefs and passions and fears and intentions and all of that from anyone else. And that is
Yeah.
where you need someone who can really listen to you, who can help you genuinely, and who can work with you as an accountability partner.
Lovely. No, very well said. Very well said. And I can imagine you must have gone through all of this. That's why you've been transforming people through from your own experiences. And I can also see when I look around into my corporate experiences, and the clients I'm dealing with, and everybody is talking about the growth, and they are stagnant, and they don't know what to do. This kind of a stuck mind. I think it's more of a mind play than something else. As you rightly said, it people can acquire the skill, but when it comes to the faith, and when it comes to the belief system, it has to be from within. So what is one two things or the tips would you like to give for somebody who really want to transform himself without going to a coach? Or number two is, how do he find the good coach? See, coaches are also like, everybody is calling themselves a coach some or the other way, but how to identify the right coach for somebody's, or he can, if I want to be finding out a right coach, what could be that one, two, three pointers which I should keep in mind to find that, okay, this is someone who can guide me and I can rely on? What is your take on it?
Yeah, so let me just give you a couple of things. We all carry a very potent instrument with us, which is our own mind, right? Our mind is so potential. When you go and buy a cell phone, you get a user's manual, instruction manual,
Yep.
how to use this equipment. You go and buy a laptop, you get a user's manual, right? But our own instruction manual, which is our mind, and nobody teaches you. Trust me, I had an opportunity to attend to the best of the professors in the world. I
Mm-hmm.
did my MBA from one of the prominent schools in Canada, and we had professors from Harvard, Stanford, Kellogg's, and I used to argue with them on certain subjects, but nobody taught me how to deal with your own mind. Our mind is like a clay. Out of the clay, you can make a demon or you can make a saint. You can make someone who is extremely negative, and you can make someone who's extremely positive out of the application of mind. Right? In spite of having so potent instrument, there is no formal education around us, either through our schools, colleges, professional graduation, etc. That is one. I'll give you an example. I met one guy who was working as a senior director in an IT company as an application director, very well paid and well equipped with the with family and children and all that. That person
Mm-hmm.
was going through huge concern in his personal life and professional life. He was not getting aligned with his parents, with his father. Right? They were living in the same house, but they were not in talking terms for months together. Can you imagine a family where the guy is not speaking to his father for months, right?
Sorry.
And his spouse was also not getting aligned, busy in kitty parties and not focusing on the family. Kids were also out of control, and he
Mm.
himself was not happy in his workplace as well. He wanted to do a solo work, whereas he was doing a people's manager's job. He was kind of not enjoying. Now we did 4 to 5 sessions, and within that, he started speaking to his father. He started having breakfast and dinner with him, going for a walk with him. His
Nice.
wife started focusing on the family. His kids were becoming more and more focused on their studies and leaving unnecessary girlfriend and boyfriend and all that. Right? All that I'm trying to say, our mind is so potent that with the able advice and action, you can orient it in the right direction, or it can take you to the wrong direction. Now,
Yeah.
having spoken this, you asked a question: how do you find a coach? How do you find out of the crowd, especially in today's context? There are many inauthentic, people are there as well who could call themselves as a coach, and there is no certification. There is a certification like ICF, but then many people can acquire it, may or may not be equally capable. So all that is there. All I would say is this is something you'll have to filter it out. You have to look for the authenticity and the relevance in the individual, and look for someone who has the capability, the relevant experience, and feel the authenticity and take a decision. But more than that, do believe that it is possible to resolve your problems, and do believe that you have all the abilities to resolve your issues. Nobody is incapable, whatever are the issues. You could be going through n number of challenges, but then you have all the abilities. God has gifted you with all the capacities and abilities. But the only thing is, you have to believe in yourself and take responsibility to correct it.
Correct. So it is more of a self-realization that yes, I know that where I stand, and now I have to do something about it. And then you start acting upon it on 360-degree ways, or maybe some pointers to be jotted down that okay, this one activity, two activity, this skill set, or something of that sort need to be approved. So it is more of an upgradation of self. But
Yeah,
the coaches, what you are mentioning, has to be authentic. They should be guiding that these are the pointers and this is how you should be upgrading in this much time. And I
yeah.
think that makes perfect sense. That makes absolute sense. So now, moving on to something which is more of about your collaborations of coaches, and collectively are you doing something, or it is an individual show? So what happens in corporate training, and what is there in for one-on-one coaching? How does what kind of difference do you see in corporate trainings and individual trainings? So if you put some light on that as well.
See, most of the corporate trainings, they are geared towards either soft skills or hard skills. Hard skills are primarily your work-related technical skills. It could be certain for an IT company, maybe certain technical skills, language skills, or if it's soft skills, it could be communication skills, leadership skills, and so on. But these corporate trainings, they do a superficial job. It's like adding a garnish to your food. This
It's
does
just a
not
tick mark for them that yes, I have done it.
kind of they
Yeah.
because most corporate they have a target to provide 10 to 15 calendar days of training in a year. They have the target,
Yes,
and to
yes.
complete the target, they have to make sure that everybody has gone through. And the targets are these days tracked by the managers, not by the individuals.
I
If I have
remember earlier in my days, we used to have these videos which have this next, next, next button and end of the story of
right,
5-10 minutes. We have to view it, and then there is a set of question to answer, and it's done. So we are trained on that.
right. So most of these trainings are geared towards acquiring certain skills, but they remain on the periphery. They do not go deeper. And
Correct.
in the coaching program, we have group coaching as well as individual one-to-one coaching as well. We have all the time for listening from people, and we get to find out everything about the individual. And the people are choosing to be vulnerable, right? They come up with their things that they have not done well, their relations, their money situation, their health situation. And that is when the courage comes in all these people to reform themselves from within. And that is where we suggest the right actions that they should take, provide the right guidance so that they are able to correct and heal their inner concerns and keep moving forward. I have seen many people who are able to correct their relations, their find the right kind of skills with their in their workplace, able to double their compensation. Some of my coaches have increased their compensation by 50, 70% within 2 or 3 months. And in one case, I remember, the two cases, they could uh, get 2.5 times compensation in about 3 to 6 months, right? So all kinds of examples are there, and all participants they get benefited by going through this program. But the only precondition is the participant has to take the responsibility and authentically should work on themselves.
Yeah, it has to be self-driven approach. Of course, you can show
Absolutely.
them the way, but absolutely they have to drive that path. They have to
You
walk the
can't
way.
bulldoze these things on anyone.
Exactly, exactly. That's
Yeah.
brilliant thought. And I think people who are listening to you is actually getting the benefit out of it. And I'm sure after that also. Now, tell me something about the book you wrote, Move Up to the Corporate Ladder. What does
Yeah.
it talk about, and what made you write this? What is it in, and what is kind of an inspiration you got while you are writing it, and who is it intended to,
Yeah.
to be read by?
Thanks for bringing it out. I was about to speak about it. See, this book I wrote about 2 years back, and all that I spoke about in last half an hour, there is a summary of all this in the book, and there are eight different chapters. Uh, it has been devised step by step. If someone goes through the book and completes the exercises which is given in the end of the book, it can really
Oh,
lead them to, in most cases, they would be able to correct the situation they are into. But in general, I have seen only reading a book does not help much, right? In fact, I was speaking to some of the guys who have gone through Stephen Covey's program, and they had gone through the book as well. They said the book speaks, 10 times more than the actually the coaching program. But after you attend the one-to-one session, after you go through the complete program, that is when you get 99% of the benefits, right? But it's an excellent book. I advise any corporate professional who could be 2 years, 3 years experienced, or 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, or even more, right? You can take your career to places. If you are earning X today, I can guarantee, and I know what I'm talking. I can guarantee you will start earning 3x. You have all the abilities, but you remain under paid, under realized, because you are not aware of your own potential.
potential,
And
yes.
it's a simple message that I wanted to give.
No, I think that's an excellent, the information about the book, and I think I'll be the first one right now after hearing this. I should be ordering it. I definitely need 3x of what I'm earning right now.
Yeah,
On a candid side, yes, but as you said, just reading a book will give you the insights, but when you go through the exercises and meet people and go out on the ground, definitely will make a big difference. So I really recommend very highly to look at this book, and it is available on Amazon. It's called Move Up to the Ladder by
move up the corporate ladder.
Move Up the Corporate Ladder
Yeah,
by Ashok ji. And please look out for this book on Amazon, and definitely you will be benefit out of it. Now, at the end, I know we can go on to this kind of a discussion,
yeah.
Ashokji. Let's try and wrap it up with some kind of an insight, some messaging system you want to give to the youth today who are entering into the corporate life after finishing up their formal education. What should be some tips of advices or anything which you definitely want to give somebody who is starting their career and they really don't want to fall back after 15 years of 10 years of experience, not should not be getting into the same the situation. So what
Yeah.
is those couple of activities which should be mindful enough for them to make sure that they are readily at the right track at the right time since the beginning? So what are such messages you would like to advise?
See, first and foremost, most of the people, when they begin their career, they always think outside in. That means their choices, their preferences to go for a certain kind of career, to work in data science or AI, or become a fintech guy or a functional guy, whatever vocation, whatever career you choose, it should be driven inside out rather than outside in. See, outside in is normally based on the competition, the whether I can get a higher compensation or lesser compensation, and so on. If you understand what you are driven by, what you are passionate about, what you like to enjoy, you will always grow much more in that area. It is not possible. to grow in something which you are choosing because you want to be better than someone else. Because sooner or
Not to
later,
be
that
influential by the surroundings and environment and culture and all of that.
absolutely
It should come within. It should come within that what I like and what I really want to pursue.
correct. That is one. And second thing that I would choose, that if you are not doing well, for whatever reasons, if you are unhappy with the compensation, with your manager, with the workplace, with the organization, with your team, with your colleagues, whatever could be the reason, look for help. See, we are living in 2020s, and this age is driven by information, and there are all kinds of gadgets are available. The best of the education in the world is available on your fingertips, on your phone and on your laptop. Today you can do any kind of best of the education programs, training programs, coaches, all of them are available. But the question is whether you take the responsibility for your career, and do you look for help, right? And if you think that there is nothing more than this I could do, then you are kind of compromising your potential, your abilities, and just wasting your time, right? And moving on. So I think these are the two strong messages that I would like to give.
Lovely, lovely. And I completely agree, and that clearly shows your experience and your expertise on the subject matter. And I'm sure anybody who is coming to you is actually gaining. And after listening to this podcast, I believe that whoever is watching would definitely want to contact you. So, guys, anyone who really want to speak to Ashok ji can visit his website ashokgoyal.co, and there are at the end of this podcast I'll make sure that you will have the information for contact about the email and phone number as well, so you may anytime get in touch with him, and I'm sure you will definitely get some benefit out of it. So at the end, this is it. Ashokji, thank you so much
Thanks.
for sharing your information and thoughts and great value system which you carry and drive. And I'm sure you will be reaching double the heights very soon or triple the heights. And I wish all the success to you. Thank you so much for joining in today in this
Thanks,
episode of
Neeraj.
Speak by Air. And please
Thanks.
take care of self. That's it, ladies and gentlemen, for today. Please watch out for the next couple of episodes where we'll be inviting more good personalities like Ashokji, and I'm sure you will take it forward from here. Take care of yourself. I'm signing off. This is Neeraj Goel from RDMR. Take care. Bye bye.
Thank you.